you talk a little bit more about the guitar program at Indiana? What are you looking for in becoming undergraduate or graduate student? Or you know, what qualities are you looking for? What skills are you looking for? Stuff like that.
Well, we have a minimum repertoire requirements on our website, and so we would expect that students would come with minimum playing those pieces, and those pieces need to be played pretty solid. And what I look in an undergraduate student, I look two things: his potential, and I always require that they come in with their parents, if possible, of course. And that's very, very important for me, to have their parents sitting there while they can choose whether they want them during the audition or not, but after the audition I invite parents to sit with the student and then we talk. And if I think that I'm going to accept that student, then I would ask parents and tell them and kind of have them to commit, to establish whether they can commit fully to that. Because unless I have a person who is 100% committed to do 6 hours every day, no holidays, no breaks. I mean, one day a week, maybe not playing that much, but 6 days a week, really 5 to 6 hours playing. If they don't do that for 4 years, I cannot guarantee how well they will develop. The main thing is that they commit the discipline and a strong effort to practicing, and if I can see that in them, that's a big plus. Second thing is, as I said, in a potential, I'm looking at their expressiveness. I mean, of course, they're too young to show it, but I worked with kids, as we said in the beginning. I was a professor in the elementary music school and high music school, so I can pretty much detect very well if a person has potential for expressive and a musical player. I mean, it doesn't really show at the audition, but I can sense, I can see certain things, how they do, and I can tell, okay, this person has a material and it's worth working with him. That's how I would choose. I have very limited spots. Maybe I would accept 5 to 6 undergraduate students a year. I mean, that's my class, so I don't have more than that student. And really pick and choose ones that are well prepared technically, of course, for the repertoire that we require, and also that they show their personality through the music. So that's what I looked at, and what I said about the parents and their commitment to being able to do this many hours. If they go there with not having an idea what it is, then of course I would not accept them. But usually when people go there, we have a screening tape audition. They would send a tape, videotape to me, so I can tell a lot through that. I would rarely invite someone if I don't think that there is a 90% of the chance that I will accept them. So I screen based on the tapes and CDs, and maybe invite only a few people, maybe 2, 3, to come to the audition. I mean, I would say yes, you can come to the audition. So then I would choose depending on the number of openings we have. With the graduate student, it's a little bit different. Also, the chair of the department, Ernesto Bittetti, he is the one that actually runs those auditions. I sit there too, but what we look together is more of that now personality, character and expressiveness there. So that more comes into the play, because we would like that students who did not go to school at Indiana for the bachelor, that they developed a certain musical aspects by the time they audition for us, so that we can then continue developing them into a true artists. And Maestro Bittetti is really great about that. I mean, he can really get the best out of everyone in his or her own unique way. So and I think that the whole Indiana University School of Music, Jacobs School of Music, is like that. Not only guitar department, that there is a lot of focus on developing artists, not only musicians and not only guitarists or violinists, but actually developing the whole artistic aspect of a future professional.
How do you see, or where do you see classical guitar fitting into the world 10 years from now? Do you think it's going to be more popular, or?
I hope so. I mean, at least I hope so. And my goal, I think, is exactly that, to broaden the audience. I think unless we fight for the audience, unless we as a classical guitarists try to bring classical guitar into the chamber music audience, bring that to the chamber music audience or orchestra music audience, we will have really difficult times in the future. Because look at the classical guitar societies. I mean, how many of them really have more than 100 people in the audience? Not so many. I mean, first of all, there are not so many classical guitar societies. There are way more classical music audience than there are classical guitar societies. So I think our primary goal of every classical guitarist is to try to really break that barrier and go a little broader, to catch more audience. And that's done through the repertoire, through the way of playing. That's very important. Now, this expressiveness that we talked earlier, I think that's a key factor. I mean, I think that's the way to bring the audience, because if you go there and just display virtuosic aspect and few nice phrases and a little bit of sweet sound and proper holding of your hands, that will just impress classical guitar audience, which is maybe 10% of the, not even that, if you are looking at the classical music audience. But if you want to impress people who go to piano concert, violin concert, orchestra concert, you have to give more. You actually have to be expressive. You have to pour your hearts and guts on the stage. Unless you do that, there is a very slim chance that you'll have successful concert with those audiences, and ultimately they will not go to classical guitar concerts anymore. I mean, that's the key factor. We have to show that we are true artists on the stage, not guitarists, not classical guitarists. That we are actually capable of communicating the music the same way orchestra does, or chamber group does, or solo violinist does. That's our goal. And I talk about that a lot on the master classes, workshops, and I talk to you about that now. I think this is the single most important thing, how to bring classical guitar to the higher level. And that's why I say I hope it gets more popular, but I'm afraid that unless there are more people doing what I'm trying to do, that the things are not going to go so well for us.